University of Wolverhampton Walsall campus and our viewers at home. It's now time for our fourth and final fixture of this Bank Holiday Monday. Could you please make some noise for the two teams still yet to play? Please welcome Bloomsbury and Southampton Aztecs. Taking you through the starting lineups for Bloomsbury. Number 19, Ajaywa Amo-Dunker. Number 2, Helena Scotland. Number 10, Paula Sanchez. Number 6, Steffi Salas-Ruiz. And number 12, Kate McGreevy. For Southampton, number 1, Lauren Saylor. Number 4, Rebecca Moody. Number 6, Kaylee Tonks. Number 10, Rebecca Tonks. And number 13, Laura Ingram. Your referee today is Tim Sadler, second referee Syed Kadri, third referee Duncan Kings, and timekeeper is Sophie Jackson.
Okay then, final game of this Easter weekend, and it has been an absolute cracker. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Let's go out with a bang. Starting with the Bloomsbury lineup, Ajaywa Amo-Dunker is their keeper. Helena Scotland leads by example, and we've seen great performances all the way through this tournament actually from the likes of Paula Sanchez, especially Kate McGreevy, definitely one to watch. She showed us some brilliant stuff last time we were here when Bloomsbury took on Helvetia. For the Southampton Aztecs team, very much a work in progress. Will Wilson has been very open about that. They are very much learning on the job, but they've been learning very quickly as well. Lauren Seiler, their keeper and captain, and the Tonk sisters are two to watch. Kaylee and Rebecca both got very different games. They complement each other beautifully though, and when it comes off, it can be spectacular. Almost ready to get underway. Joined by Alicia Povey on commentary again. And Alicia, you know plenty about these two teams, I know, having played them earlier on in the season. Really interesting matchup here. We'd hoped for quite an even game on paper, but with these two, you just never quite know what you're going to get, do you? Yeah,
I think they both play quite different styles of futsal, which will make the game interesting. But as you say, they're quite well matched, and you can see that in where they are in the league table. But I think this is going to be one of those games where it goes very much either way. I'm saying that now, but I could be completely wrong in 40 minutes' time. But it'll be an interesting game, whatever happens.
We've all been there. It's Southampton who gets underway. They're in the green, Bloomsbury in the gold and the black. They're also very much a work in progress. Similar timeline actually on these two teams in terms of when they were formed. But Bloomsbury is part of the wider Bloomsbury umbrella with the association with the men's team and the Football Foundation there in central London. A little bit of a head start with some really good quality futsal players, such as Helena Scotland, her first shot and angle well saved by Lauren Seiler. The Aztec story is very different, and I love telling it every time I see the Aztecs play, but they were formed after a come-play futsal day down on the south coast, and Will Wilson was like, we've got a lot of good players here, we should form a team. Entry went in for the NFS and they were swiftly accepted. Into Tier 2 South they went. Good chance there for Laura Ingram. Yeah, into Tier 2 South they went, and they only went and qualified for Tier 1. An unbelievable season so far. Exceeded all expectations and having lots of fun while they're doing it as well. And a tough team to play against. Yeah,
you don't need to remind me about their qualification, because I think a foul that I gave away was the deciding goal that they got through on. But I'm not bitter.
I didn't know that, Alicia, and you've offered up that information voluntarily. Just know that.
It's fine. I'm over it. I'm over it.
So Steffi Salas-Ruiz on the kick-in. Scotland looking to hit that second post, and some really talented players within this sort of Bloomsbury unit. We've been really impressed whenever we've seen Paula Sanchez, the number 10. And you've got to keep an eye on that Helena Scotland shot, because she has got an absolute rocket. She scored some wonder goals in this Tier 1 season.
I think as a player, generally, she's just really grown into this Tier 1. I think when I was playing her in Tier 2, she's a bit of a maverick. She'll go into some quite big challenges, and I think as a player, she's really grown. She knows when to sort of step off and when to get her shots away, and she really builds up the team, I think, and it's great to see her progression throughout.
There's Laura Ingram again on the run, looking to get on the end of the pass from Rebecca Moody. Salas to McGreevy, looking to pick the run of Sanchez, and dropped into the path of Salas, looking to find Sanchez on the through ball. A nice little movement that from Bloomsbury, didn't quite come off. Here's Ingram again. Salas quickly in and sharply in with the challenge. Before the talk earlier when we read the lineups there about how effective the Tonks sisters are, I'm not sure they've even had a kick of the ball yet. It's been the other two working really tightly as a duo, Moody and Ingram. If they can get either Kaylee or Rebecca on the ball, like with a pass like that, which was an excellent pick out from Ingram, then that's where they can be really effective. You really like Rebecca in particular. I know, Alicia, we commentated on her last time. Similar position to you and plays it really effectively.
Yeah, she's just a really strong player. She's got very good feet, and I think she's quite a sort of calm player, which makes a really big difference in that pivot role. She doesn't sort of clutch at shots. She takes them when they're on, and yeah, I mean, I think her and her twin have some sort of telepathic ability that they play really well together, and it's nice to see.
Looks suspiciously like an arm in there by Kate McGreevy, but referee's wave to play on. It's Tim Sadler inside Kadri on the call. Scotland's ball up court is cut out by Rebecca Tonks. And they give that handball. Interesting.
I think interesting, yeah, interesting is the word.
McGreevy forward into Sanchez, looking to turn in that pivot position. That's nicely played by Salas. Oh, very nearly through. Siler hurls it up to Rebecca Tonks, looking for Kaylee.
I think we're already starting to see the sort of two styles. Bloomsbury looking to sort of play through the lines and play it on the floor, and Southampton the complete opposite, really playing quite long balls. And from Lauren Saylor, the keeper, the long ball forward is always on for Southampton, it seems.
It's almost, and I mean this with total respect, a sort of slightly lower down the table version of the match we've just seen between Helvetia and Worcester. Similar sort of game plans going head to head with each other. Greavy's cross doesn't quite connect, but her teammates on the bench certainly like the idea. Got to be alive to that quick ball into the pivot. This is Ingram, big challenge from Scotland. Greavy gets her pocket picked. Lovely ball from Katie Tonks, or was it just a fraction too much on it? Francis prepping a couple of changes on the Bloomsbury bench. Foot race between Ingram and Salas, and I think Salas was happy to let Ingram have that one. Southampton Aztecs player had a bit of a head start. Lauren Siler always happy to come and play. Always giving me pretty strong vibes of frustrated out-court player whenever I see Lauren Siler in goal. Loves coming up the pitch and producing some stuff with her feet. Now then, Rebecca Tonks, good save, Amadonka. Just got on the wrong side of McGreevy there, Rebecca Tonks. And she'll have been expecting to score one in that position.
Yeah, I think we were obviously saying that maybe she hasn't had as many touches on the ball as she might have done, but she gets in those dangerous positions, and I don't think she needs that many touches on the ball to get away shots like that.
Nikki Curtis has just come on for the Aztecs, diminutive number 8. As Laura Ingram takes a back seat for now. This is Moody looking to play forward. McGreevy can cut this out, and it's 3-on-2 here for Bloomsbury. Pass was just a little bit delayed, and now it's the reverse. 2-on-1 through the legs. Tonks to Tonks! 1-0 Southampton Aztecs. What a lovely finish from Kaylee Tonks. And the back-to-back transitions end up in Southampton Aztecs' favour. What a good finish this is.
Yeah, we see it so much in futsal. It's just, they managed to nick it in the middle, and it's a really nice ball across. We're talking about the sort of telepathic twin ability, and it's just a pinpoint pass. and really well finished as well.
That's a really good finish. Great angle to see it there. Those ones are difficult when it's coming onto your back foot. You've got to get the timing right, and the placement was perfect. Aztecs lead then by a goal to nil. Bloomsbury looking to get themselves in the front foot. Battle of the bottom two coming into this game. And the relegation picture is a little bit convoluted, I want to say, to decide who ends up staying in Tier 1 come the end of the season. Bottom four in the division will all head into the relegation playoffs, which at the start of the day was Worcester, University of Liverpool, Southampton and Bloomsbury. Barring a miracle in terms of goal difference, that will be the case come the end of today as well. And they'll all head into the relegation playoffs, along with the second half of the season's Tier 2 North and South winners. So we've got two pools of three, all play each other. Top two stay in Tier 1. Hope you're making notes.
I will be completely honest, I sort of zoned out.
Yeah, not the easiest system to try and explain, but I'm sure we'll get through it come the end of the season. Big games coming up for these two teams. They'll be both really keen to keep that Tier 1 status, having got a taste for it. It's always difficult to give that up. Scotland can step in front of Curtis. That's a foul. Aggressive defending, as is Cannon really for Helena Scotland. I wonder if she fancies a strike here. Speaking of cannons, she did. It just goes to show how difficult those toe poke finishes are. It's a really ambitious effort with the toe from there.
Yeah, I think especially from like a dead ball, they're really hard to get on target. If you're sort of on pace with the ball, then it's much easier.
That Tonks to Tonks combination, it is so dangerous for Southampton. Decent chance falls by the wayside for Kaylee on that occasion. Bloomsbury moving really nicely there. Sanchez, lovely 1-2, and not quite on the other end of it was Erin Jenkin. There's Curtis. Back to Tonks. Can't let her shoot from that sort of range, and Helena Scotland was very aware of that. Sends it all the way back to the other end of the court from whence it came. Nikki Curtis was in behind there if that pass had connected. Direct one up towards Paula Sanchez. Can't quite keep it alive. Here's Kaylee Tonks. Moody under a little bit of pressure. Southampton play that really well. Curtis on the run, can she keep it in? Not quite. But there you see, the benefits of playing in Tier 1 and getting training sessions together. Those are the sorts of moves put together there that Southampton Aztecs just didn't have in the toolbox 6 months ago.
Yeah, I think maybe I undersold them slightly at the beginning of this game, saying that they're playing the long ball. They haven't necessarily done that as much in the last sort of few minutes, and it's really coming off against Bloomsbury. Those quick 1-2s, especially between the Tonk sisters and Nicola Curtis. Just then, they're splitting Bloomsbury and they're making opportunities.
Erin Jenkins, or Kate McGreevy just showed too much of it to Moody, but gets it on the other side. Not quite on the same wavelength there, the Bloomsbury girls. Davina Aloilolo is on for the Aztecs, and the kick-in is going to go the other way. That ball was moving as Moody struck it. That's a bad one to give away in that position. Goes from a defensive set piece where you can clear your lines to all of a sudden Bloomsbury got a good chance here to try and get a shot on goal. Faye Williams across to take it. Teed up for Jenkins. Williams' passes cut out by Tonks. Jenkins quick to rush back to retrieve, but then back at Tonks. Slips it away. Advantage being played. A little tug on the shirt there from Jenkins. And decision is a corner. Erin Jenkins doesn't like that, but I think that's one of those where as a ref where you're not too sure, but you know there was a foul in there, so you'll give it the opposition's way.
Yeah, I think I've been on the end of those Erin fouls quite a few times in my playing career, and it's difficult to play against, and yeah, I think she might be aggrieved by the corner, but there was a clear foul in there, so she can't give too much lip, I think.
Yeah, she scored a lovely goal last time. We watched this Bloomsbury team against Helvetia. Did Erin Jenkins. And Donko has to let that one go. Only 4 seconds for the keepers, remember. Did so well. McGreevy, little ball round the corner. And Curtis just got herself between Jenkins and the keeper, Seiler. McGreevy with a shot. Rattles the cage of Lauren Seiler's goal. Oh, lovely flick, and Davina Aloilolo is in behind, and that's a brilliant bit of keeping from Ajewa Amadonko. Wow. Crucial intervention there. It's not Erin Jenkins' ball again. Her and Syed Kadri are going to be best of friends by the end of this game.
I mean, I'm in agreement with the referee there. I think it's just one of those touches that maybe Erin didn't feel, but she needs to watch it, because if she keeps giving mouth to the referees, she'll see a yellow card eventually.
What a brilliant intervention that was from Ajewa Amadonko. She's a keeper who, let's be honest, doesn't mind getting involved and coming out and creating chaos for the strikers.
Yeah, she's so passionate as well as a keeper. It's difficult to play against because she hypes herself up on the court, and yeah, it gets in your head a bit. But yeah, she gets in there and she makes some amazing saves.
Tonks with the ball forward. Curtis can drop that off. Now Moody, unlucky. Aztecs played some good stuff. This is Jenkins. And he's just a bit isolated up there. Cavalry was slow to arrive. Moody for Curtis. Williams quickly across, and that's a Bloomsbury ball on this occasion. Oh, that's a nice little ball for Moffat. Great strike, and couldn't quite get a foot around the follow-up. I think that first one off the toe might have been goal-bound, you know. It was a lovely little run that from Moffat.
Yeah, she does really well to just sort of hide where she's going, and Southampton aren't quick enough to follow her, and she gets a little bit of space. And yeah, the toe poke originally a good one.
Tonks. Good save from Amadonko. They've got to be really careful, Bloomsbury, in dealing with Rebecca Tonks. Can't allow their fix to be pinned like that, because Tonks can go either way and get shots off, and she's so dangerous doing that. This is Ingram. And Rebecca Tonks. Moffat hammers it away.
I think that's the right decision there. She's just got to get rid of the ball before Bloomsbury are able to reset. And yeah, as you say, Rebecca Tonks is a very dangerous player, so yeah, you don't want to give her any opportunity.
Charlotte Broughton has just come on as well for the Aztecs, the number 9. And Steffi Salas back in to replace Jenkins for Bloomsbury. There's Faye Williams, nice first touch. Salas. Amadonko, is it second touch? Yes. Loose one from Bloomsbury, that. Keepers can only touch the ball once in their own half per move, and quite often they start them.
Yeah, we've seen it actually quite a few times today. It's more than normal, I think.
This weekend has been a bit of an epidemic, hasn't it?
There's something about keepers. We've seen it in football as well this weekend. It must be some sort of, maybe the moon is in orbit at some point, and it's making the keepers do the wrong thing. But yeah, dangerous.
Sure, Zach Steffen will be grateful for that explanation. Oh well, they're going to pull that one back. Little clever one there from Aztecs, and difficult to charge a direct free kick. It is indirect though, so Southampton themselves weren't quite on the same wavelength there. They do have to make a touch before the shot comes in. And wide. Corner. Southampton are just trying to put it in the mixer there.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm right in thinking it's indirect off that foul.
I believe so. I think they were just hoping that it was going to take a deflection and and go in that way.
A lovely turn from Broughton. Okay, Williams can turn out and release here. McGreevy's got a bit of space. Salas in Oceans. That's a lovely ball from McGreevy for Steffi Salas, just wide. What a pass from Kate McGreevy. That was inch perfect.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Just cut through the Southampton defence like butter. And yeah, it's a toe poke and it's off target.
Salas in sharply on Becca Tonks. Aloilolo for Tonks and Aloilolo. Ball's backwards here by the Bloomsbury press. Need to find a way out, and they won't mind that. Helena Sanchez being ready to come back in, so too is Helena Scotland.
I think those two are going to be key for Bloomsbury if they want to get back into this game. I mean, they're not out of it at all, but they just need that little bit of magic, and I think those two can offer it.
Helena Scotland absolutely not letting Davina Aloilolo through there. Bit of a physical mismatch between those two. And certainly in terms of aggression, no one is outmatching Helena Scotland in that challenge. Becca Tonks, Greavy at her back. There's certainly some consternation in that Bloomsbury defence. Tonks just escaped there. All attentions of markers, and everyone on the bench, including the coaches, were yelling there at the Bloomsbury defence just to watch Becca Tonks. You can't let her go unchecked.
Yeah, there's something that's not quite matching up at the moment with Bloomsbury, and I think they need to grow into this game, because if they don't, I can see Southampton getting a few more. Chance
here for Becca Tonks on that note. Off through the legs of Sanchez, but Scotland's on the other side.
Yeah, they just seem to be finding those pockets of space in behind, and Rebecca Tonks is one of those players that gets into those spaces and can do things with that time.
Challenge from Helena Scotland was a good one, but Katie Tonks has ridden it and nearly fed Charlotte Broughton. McGreevy. Salas can bring Scotland into play. That's a loose one from Helena. Southampton here, growing in confidence. I really think that goal has just changed the attitudes of the two teams. And in fact, Helena Scotland has got herself a yellow card there. Was that not for retreating on the kick-in?
Yeah, she's within the 5, and the referee is within his rights to give her a yellow card there. But it's a little bit harsh. I've seen them not given a lot of times in this Tier 1. So yeah, she's just going to be careful now, because we know what she's like with tackles. Yep.
We know she likes a tackle. Kelly Tonks checks it back. First real touch of the ball for the number 21, Amy Maidman, who was recently on. And a timeout has been called. Or has it? No. Accidental press of the buzzer. Play continues.
It's been a long day.
It's Sanchez. It's a lovely one around the corner from Maidman. The Aztecs did brilliantly, haven't they? Under a lot of pressure from the Bloomsbury press, they're playing around it really impressively, actually.
Yeah, I think we're both surprised, just because it's not their classic style. But yeah, they're playing the ball really well, and the movement off the ball as well is really good, and that's causing issues for Bloomsbury. I don't know, maybe they were the same as us. They weren't particularly expecting this kind of style of play, and that's why Southampton are finding those spaces in behind and getting those chances. But yeah, I think Southampton definitely the brighter team in these opening exchanges.
I do think the goal was key. It just changed the confidence level, the attitude. You can see it in the Southampton players in particular. Chance here though for Bloomsbury. Scotland has so much support here. Salas and McGreevy both there. There's McGreevy, and there's the equaliser. Another one for Kay McGreevy on the season. No surprise to see Helena Scotland heavily involved. Bloomsbury back level, and it is game very much on here in the NFS.
Yeah, we're obviously saying it might be a little bit against the run of play, but Bloomsbury get their players forward. It was a 3-on-2 really, and Amy Maidman I don't know whether she doesn't know whether to go to Helena or stay. And in the end, it's a really neat ball across from Helena and a very good finish.
7th of the season for Kate McGreevy. It's very much earned that drink to refresh. Substitute has come in, and that's Moffat. Now Scotland, it's Sanchez. Across towards Scotland, and that's a good hand in there from Lauren Seiler. Really decent save. And now there really is a timeout called, and it's going to be for Bloomsbury. Liam Francis wants to chat it over with his players. We're going to take a listen in to the Bloomsbury bench.
The issue we're having at the moment is runners. They're trying to isolate this player in a 1v1 situation. You know, if the ball goes over, one of you's got to go and help her. Stop her just being able to turn and cause us problems. If a second one goes, you've got to follow them. If no one follows, someone's got to pick it up. I don't care who it is, one of you's just got to call it. If you're here and no one's picking it up, why aren't you screaming at them? Scream at the nearest player to come back and help you. Hold each other to account for that, because it's going to make us concede goals.
When the ball goes behind you, you have to be in line or behind the ball. Okay? You can't be in front of it. You have to
You two need to come in.
In possession from the goalkeeper. Call, doing really well. Call it.
Press breaker.
Sweep is getting out every time. Okay? And if not, we throw it long. But I'd rather stop being so static, draw them out, because then the space is in behind. Okay?
Come on, back in the game now. Come on.
Oh, great to listen in there. Really enjoyed that, Liam Francis. And you might have recognised, futsal fans, those who watched yesterday, John Currant, the assistant coach for Bloomsbury today. He was playing for the Bloomsbury men's team yesterday. Double duties this weekend for JK. But a really good futsal mind as well. Despite getting back into the game. Oh, chance here for Salas, and that's a big chance as well. Applause from the Bloomsbury bench. The process was right, the execution wasn't quite there, but that was a lovely set piece. But it's interesting, calling the timeout after the goal, and it was almost to say, well, we're back in it, you've got the goal, well done, but this is everything we need to do better, because there's quite a bit of it.
Yeah, I think obviously we were saying it, Southampton had a really good opening spell, and Bloomsbury, I mean, they deserved that goal, but it was against the run of play slightly. So yeah, I think Liam Francis and John Currant, they want to settle their team, and they want to say what they need to do better. As you say, there's a lot that they could be doing better, and we'll see those changes, and hopefully that's when they make the impact.
And of course, same as Southampton, there's quite a few in the Bloomsbury ranks who are recent converts, shall we say, to the game from football, and everyone's a learner, and a few better to learn from than the likes of Liam Francis, John Curran, very experienced within the sport. Aaron Jenkins checking back into the game. Paula Sanchez takes a seat for now. Helena Scotland, Rachel Moffat, Steffi Salas and Erin Jenkins, and the outcourt four currently for Bloomsbury. That's Becca Tonks sending one north towards Maidman. Becca Tonks, a decent strike. We have seen that plenty of times already this season from Becca Tonks. She has got a bit of a cannon in that right foot. That's a nice little 1-2. Erin Jenkins will get there. Needs a bit of support. Dinks it in towards Salas, and that is really close for Steffi Salas.
Yeah, Bloomsbury are creating more opportunities now. I think they realise what they can improve on, and when they're getting forwards, they're getting people in and around those areas. They just need to get on the end of it, because it's so close. It's just inches away at the moment.
Yeah, Salas had a couple of moments now. They've got his name on the score sheet. This is precisely what they were talking about in the timeout, needing to find a way out, break that Southampton press. They've done it well there. This is Scotland. And, well, if you're Helena Scotland, you're asking where your teammates are.
Yeah, I was literally just saying how that there was people in the box and they just couldn't quite get on the end of it. This time, absolutely no one there. Yeah, I think Erin Jenkins is she's making the run, but it's not quite quick enough. And
well, there was the goal from McGreevy, which is what that last chance should have looked like from a Bloomsbury perspective, right?
Exactly, and that's frustrating. It will be frustrating for Helena, and it will be frustrating for the bench, because if you're Bloomsbury, you think it could be 2-1 right now.
Tonks to Tonks. Becca Tonks, good save. Hand in there from Amadonko was huge, and Helena Scotland's. Oh, it's penalised. Penalty. And there's going to be a second yellow coming out here for Helena Scotland. Helena Scotland is dismissed by the referee. The Bloomsbury captain is off. Massive moment in the match. Well, that's a huge, huge moment. Tim Sadler was immediate in his call.
I mean, we said when Helena got the yellow for the kick in that she was going to need to be careful, and we knew that she goes in for those big challenges, and she's unfortunate there, I think, to get the second yellow. And she's a really important player for Bloomsbury, so it's going to be a hard slog now.
Yeah, this is, you see Helena Scotland departing, and she will not be particularly happy. Here's the look at it again. Oh, I don't know, I think that's a bit tough, you know. It's aggressive, but it's a 50-50, and she wins the ball first for me. It'd be interesting to hear the thoughts of Mike Scrivala, Steve Sidwell at half-time. But either way, penalty is the decision. Kaylee Tonks stood over it. Becca Tonks happily is back up on her feet. She's okay to carry on. In a strange way, I think here, if you're Bloomsbury, you'd almost rather concede from this penalty. Short-handed for 2 minutes if they don't. Ajaywa Amadonko is a big presence in that goal to beat. Kaylee Tonks. Saved by Ajaywa Amadonko.
Look at that Bloomsbury bench, just all on their feet, celebrating that.
Oh, now then, is it being brought back? I think it is. Ajaywa Amadonko penalised, I think, for coming off her line. So penalty will be retaken. Just did see a replay there, and it did look a little bit like she was off, I must say. I can understand the frustration from the Bloomsbury bench, but I think Said Kadri's probably made the right call there. Take two. And saved again from Amadonko. Shrug of the shoulders, she says, I'll do it twice, don't you worry about that. Southampton waste 2 opportunities to go in front. Ajaywa Amadonko with 2 penalty saves back to back. But what it does now mean is no goal, so 2 minutes to defend a player down. So 4v3, and this will be a long 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's what you're saying. Sometimes it is just better to concede and then you get your player back. But AJ in the Bloomsbury goal, they're just a different breed of people, I think, goalkeepers, and she's done really well there to keep her head after that initial decision and to make the second save. But yeah, a long 2 minutes now for Bloomsbury.
Yeah, expect plenty of substitutions. Defensive players will come on, but sometimes it's so hard to defend. You almost want 3 who are quite good on the ball to try and keep the ball between them as well. Steffi Salas certainly falls into that category. And as much time as you can just essentially waste here is the best. McGreevy outpaces Tonks, who is about 8-10 on the watch when the red card was issued, so they survived roughly the first minute. Southampton really want to make the most of this power play. Maidman in towards Kaylee Tonks, and Amadonko will get that one fairly easily. Only got 4 seconds, and that's the thing when you've only got 3 there, you just can't play that short. You've almost got to just concede possession. Tonks with a shot, Amadonko with another good save. Just heard the shout there, I think it was from John Curran on the Bloomsbury bench to drop in. They've got to defend here so deep, haven't they, just to block all that space.
Yeah, it's really tough, and you especially when there's players that would normally come forward, they just want to get out, but it's just, you have to drop back, you have to do your defensive duties, and 2 minutes feels like a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, they just need to do it.
I know you'd have experienced it at some point. How long does that 2 minutes feel?
Oh, like a lifetime, but...
Well, 2 minutes is finished. We've now got 4 players back on court. McGreevy's on the break. This will be some comeback for Salas. Big save, Seiler. Wow. Well, Bloomsbury no longer short-handed, and didn't they nearly make the most of it straight away?
That would have been the dream, coming back from 2 minutes with a player down to score again and get that, make it 2-1. But yeah, in the end, it's not quite there. I think Kate McGreevy, she was making the run back post, and you think maybe she could have just set that, but I think Amy Maidmont was actually coming across and might have been able to cut that one out.
And the Duncore can gather that. Dropped into the thigh of Salas. That's nicely controlled and nicely played too. From Jenkins, to Salas. Shot comes in, deflected, another corner. Steffi Salas had a really nice game, hasn't she, going forward? Hasn't quite supplied the finish that she'd have been after, but just to be on the end of those chances is a very good sign.
Yeah, I think she's a really good player. Obviously, last week against Worcester, she maybe looked a little bit lost, but she's really grown into today, and she's looked really dangerous. So I'd back her to get a goal today. She carries on with the same work rate that she's shown.
Tonks through to Nikki Curtis. Becca Tonks again. We'll want this on the right foot. Moffat was aware of that. Tonks again. Big save from Emma Donkor. And she's there again. And free kick given. No need for too much of a reaction. Becca Tonks did have every right to go for that. It is a foul, but Bloomsbury just in danger here of letting the heat of the occasion wear a little bit on them. They'll feel the injustice, no doubt, but you just have to park that, don't you?
Yeah, I think losing your head never helps the situation, and they've got enough technical players that are going to be able to see this game out and get something from it, so there is no point arguing with the referee and putting in silly challenges that's going to see more of them on yellows or even reds.
Katie Tonks in behind McGreevy, recovered well. A little Tonks x Tonks combination is coming off quite nicely, isn't it?
I said it would.
Here we are again. Kaylee and Becca, it is Becca with the strike, and Donkor with a very comfortable save. Faye Williams is on court, by the way, for Bloomsbury. And Steffi Salas there taking up a great position. She's got loads of time. Loose one, Curtis. And Donkor came, just made sure there was no way through. Really composed goalkeeping actually from Emma Donkor. Didn't go further than her D, didn't need to do any of that, just made the wall and said, well, you can't get past me. Lauren Seiler's going to beat Steffi Salas to that. McGreevy's first to the loose ball.
Yeah, two very different keepers, but two very difficult keepers to play against. I've played against both, and I don't like playing against either, so...
Yeah, they get up in your face, right?
Yeah, and I think like AJ gets down really quickly, she gets out really quickly. Lauren Saylor plays as basically an outfield player most of the time, so that just makes her difficult to play against.
Salas, McGreevy, good save from Seiler. And Southampton can work this away. Final 5 minutes of this first half. Tonks surrounded, no way through. Paula Sanchez back on court. And she's battling with Nikki Curtis and happy to see that one out. First time on court in the match for Emma Thackeray. Into Faye Williams. Slightly loose touch from Faye. Thackeray, Sanchez, Williams and McGreevy, the foursome for Bloomsbury at the minute. This is Moody for Seiler. Two Tonkses are out there, so too Nikki Curtis. Here is Becca Tonks, doesn't link up with Curtis on that occasion. McGreevy away. Tonks can step away from Williams. Shot on the left. Oh, and deflected in. It's off Paolo Sanchez. And Southampton are back in front. And Bloomsbury here want to gather themselves back in again.
Yeah, I think it's all about staying positive. That's just really unfortunate. That happens when you're putting your body on the line to make those defensive blocks. And yeah, I think Bloomsbury, they're just going to look to rebuild as a team, and you saw it. There was no anger. They just picked each other up, and they're going to have to do it. It's only 2-1. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I really like that actually from J.O. Amadonka, straight in. Gave Paolo Sanchez a big hug, said don't worry about it, it happens. It's never nice scoring an own goal. We saw a couple of them earlier. Sometimes it's just thrown into the mixer in that D. You just can't control anything that happens.
It's just a part of the way of life in futsal. Unfortunately, it happens so much more than in football. And it's heartbreaking when it happens to you.
Oh, Kaylee Tonks just got the header all wrong. Didn't quite time it right, and this is a decent chance. There's the reverse angle. But that's what can happen, you know. It's why it's preached so often. You shoot towards that second post. Because if Paolo Sanchez isn't there and deflects it in, then right behind there was a Southampton player to stick it in anyway. Oh, it's lovely from Faye Williams. Looks to get the return, just too much on it from Thackeray. Well, Will Wilson and the Aztecs will be absolutely delighted with this first half. Williams can work it with Thackeray. Sanchez comes out to press, but it works its way through to Curtis anyway. Oh, that was very nearly in. J.O. Amadonka with a really handy save, and then Faye Williams just loses under a foot.
Yeah, just very good goalkeeping again from AJ there in the Bloomsbury goal. But yes, very close. I did lose my breath a bit there.
And Jenkins being prepped to come back in. Moody's ball, it's cut out by McGreevy. And she can charge. Back with Moody. And Williams does well, wins her team the kick in. Lucky from Williams. We'll go back to J.O. Amadonka. Didn't really have a player to play to as the substitution had just been made. Ben Jenkins comes on for Faye Williams. And this goes all the way through to Becca Tonks.
Yeah, it feels like the levels dropped a little bit after that second goal. Both of the teams just struggling to make any kind of real...
Oh, Davina Allo fresh in. And with a contribution, it's worked its way to Becca Tonks. Southampton have to recycle. And Bloomsbury there were just not prepped to get started. Amadonka had nowhere to go to. And you can't just hold on to it as a keeper. You get 4 seconds and that's it. Becca Tonks. Good block from Sanchez. Yeah, there's some... feels like there's a little bit of tired legs out there, isn't there?
Yeah, I think, both teams, they're just sort of cancelling each other out in the closing stages of this first half, and I think it's going to be a tough one for both of them to pick themselves up. Even Southampton, like you say, they'll be really happy with how this first half's gone, but at the same time, they could be making more opportunities, and they're going to need to keep Bloomsbury at bay. So it's going to be a hard second half, whatever happens.
Oh, it breaks here for Thackeray, and Seiler was quickly out. That's how quickly a game can change. Maidment was there. This is Becca Tonks. Still don't think Becca's come off court yet. A long 18 minutes for her. Agree, couldn't keep it in. Away by Thackeray. Becca Tonks, just as I say, she's not missed a minute. She eventually now gets a bit of a rest. Charlotte Broughton comes on, maybe just to see out this first half. Aztecs looking to fly. No way. A real route out there for Amy Maidment. Almost turned back into the traffic. Thackeray was there. It's nice feet from Broughton, but can't get through. Now can Bloomsbury work a transition. Lovely flick ball from Jenkins, and that's a really good effort from Paula Sanchez. Great little scoop pass, wasn't it, from Erin Jenkins?
She's so good at those. I've seen her score with them. I've seen her provide beautiful assists, and yeah, it's just so close to getting to the end of that. And I mean, there's not very much time left, but Bloomsbury is still putting the pressure on, and that's really encouraging.
We do get the decision there. A Bloomsbury ball for Anna Thackeray. It's the 4th Southampton foul. And Francis just takes a peer up at that scoreboard, I think just to check the foul count, but also the time left in this one. Moody dinks it forward. This will break it to Broughton. I'll tell you, that's a really good chance. Broughton didn't get hold of it, but Emma Donkor there had to make a really easy save when that should have been a much more difficult one.
Yeah, she just needed to put a little bit more on it. I mean, I think pretty much any direction if she'd toe poked that, it would have gone in the back of the net. But yeah, she just doesn't quite get enough on it. But a really good ball forward, and that's a little bit more like the Southampton we're used to seeing is those slightly longer balls forward, and they're used to playing it, and it comes off a lot.
Good feed from Moody. Moffat. Good ball to Sanchez. Worked the angle well. Here's a chance then for Paula Sanchez. Wins a set piece. Sent to the back stick for Moffat, and it broke there for a very first touch on court. How'd you like that for Jasmine Whitehead Shakes? Freshly on, 5 seconds in, and you're running straight onto a loose ball on the edge of the deep.
I don't think she was quite set. I think she was still looking at positioning herself rather than having any eyes for the ball.
Alawilolo, Amadonko's going to be really careful there. Set back for Broughton. Bloomsbury survived the scare. Moody gives it a hammer. And into the last knockings of this first half, and it's been, well, a fairly dramatic one from a Bloomsbury perspective. They've lost their skipper, Eleanor Scotland, sent off, 2 yellow cards. I'm sure that will be extensively looked at half-time. Southampton have probably just about deserved this 2-1 lead. They've penned Bloomsbury back, and they've got a couple of goals for their troubles as well. Bloomsbury need to get in at half-time and just react on what's been a difficult first half for a number of reasons. Plenty still to play for, though. They're well in this one. Half-time here in Walsall. It is 2-1 Aztecs.
Wow, what an entertaining and controversial first half. It's Bloomsbury 1, Southampton Aztecs 2. So much drama already in the first 20 minutes. I mean, we've had the goals and we've had a sending off. It's all going on in the first half.
Yeah, it was a close encounter, wasn't it? Neither team giving much away. We highlighted Helena Scotland before the game, being aggressive, and that's what's needed to be resilient and be defensive. We'll look at the red card in a moment, but yeah, I think Southampton have probably just edged it in terms of performance.
I think they've just had a few more chances, haven't they? But it's been a very end-to-end game. And we talked about how these both teams love to attack. You know, they love to get at each other. They love to try and score goals. Defensively, they're not too worried. They just want to attack, and that's what has made it a really entertaining game.
We will have a look at the red card in a short moment, but let's have a look at the goals in this first half. Firstly, Bloomsbury with the opening goal.
Yeah, first one. Kaylee Tong, the two Tong sisters, forming a good partnership there. Rebecca to Kaylee, we highlighted her before the game, saying how much she can finish. Mike, and
the Tong sisters for me have been phenomenal together. So you can really see them linking up again with Curtis, who's been that runner as well. They're really good at getting into the wide areas and then hitting runners. And I think that's what Bloomsbury found hard to defend against, because we spoke they get really tight and then they've got to track the runners again, and that's where Southampton have tried to exploit.
This is the Bloomsbury goal against the run of play. Helena Scotland there driving forward,
and that's what you're going to see from her, isn't it? That ability to drive forward, that second post finish that we know is so important in futsal. And it's a great goal against the run of play, really. But they love to attack as well.
Yeah, and it's McGreevy at the far post.
Look at that for a finish.
It away. Nice, both finishes, but both good, calm and composed, opening their side foot. Just
great little technical finishes. They've got to still put that in the back of the net. We saw yesterday in the men's game how they can miss them.
It's been very unfortunate here with the goal off the knee.
Yeah, Rebecca Tonks with the strike. It comes off Sanchez, who's just in front of the keeper, and deflects it in. So, I mean, the togetherness though from Bloomsbury straight away, they get each other into a huddle, regroup, no problems. That you can see here, the keeper getting up, saying, "Look, no worries." Look.
Yeah, Anno Dunkel gets straight back up and says, "Let's go, we can do this, let's go again."
Great.
So
that's what you want to see,
isn't it, from your teammates? But really unlucky goal.
I guess they know, as you said so many times, how quickly things can change in futsal. That's why they've regrouped. You know, there's another half to play. Anything can happen, and how quickly, within seconds, anyone can get a goal. But the game completely changed. We were fortunate enough to not concede again, because Helena Scotland, who we pointed out earlier, got that red card offence with that tackle. Is it a tackle or was she clearing the ball?
Well, I think, listen, she's on a yellow card already. We know she's aggressive. I think it's definitely not a tackle, but it's a clearance tackle. She knows that's her part of the game that she can do. When she's got her eyes set on that ball, she's thinking, I can get this.
Yeah. I think it's one of those, isn't it? We know she's already got probably a soft yellow card. She plays the game on the edge. She's a big player for them. She'll put in big tackles. Yeah. I think she's won the ball personally there for me.
She's definitely won the ball.
It's a tough one.
I actually think, looking at that, Kaylee Tonks just gets a touch on it, just
slightly,
just ever so slightly, just before. So they had the penalty. This is the first save, which was a fantastic. Then there was the retake.
Yep. So the referee's saying she come off a line. On a 6 metre, you have to stay on your line. On a 10 metre, you can come off your line. Right. But on a 6 metre, you have to stay on your line. So the referee made her play the retake, and it was brilliant. She made a right answer.
Now it's the mind games, isn't it? You go the same side, you change it up. They decide to change it up.
It's this little shrug is like, no problem.
You want to take it again? No problem. I'll just save it again. I love that.
Well, tell us in terms of a penalty there, who is the favourite? Is it the taker or is it the goalkeeper?
The taker for me from 6 metres. Right. You know, you hit that on target. It's so hard to save because of the distance. You know, hits it hard enough, and probably the height was an easy distance for the hand. Yeah. So it's probably got to go higher or lower because it's harder to split. But the height was quite good for the keeper. Yeah.
Well, it's safe to say that Bloomsbury are still in. They can possibly get back into the game. Southampton with the lead at half time. Who are you going for? How do you see it going?
I still think Southampton will edge this.
I'm changing. I did say Bloomsbury. I'm going Southampton now because I think Helena Scotland is such a big player for them. I think they've lost that now. Yeah.
Well, we'll see how it'll go after this short break. See you shortly.
Welcome back for the final time here with the FA National Futsal Series on a bumper bank holiday Easter weekend. Been an absolute pleasure to have you company over the course of the last 2 days. Hope you've enjoyed the action. And don't forget as well, we are back on May bank holiday weekend as the men's futsal playoffs continue. And the women's get started, and I wonder what's already happened today. I've actually seen 3 really good games. 5-4 Birmingham WLV getting the win over Bolton. Manchester good against a very impressive Liverpool, and despite the scoreline, Helvetia 9, Worcester 1, it's amazing actually how the scoreline sometimes doesn't tell the story of a game. That was a very enjoyable, very close game for much of it. And speaking of close games, it's game back on. We're 14 seconds into the second half, and Kate McGreevy equalises for Bloomsbury for a second time in the match. And what a finish as well, Alicia.
She just sort of ghosts through the middle of the court, and it's a really good finish to sort of toe poke just into the bottom corner. You think she might sort of lay it off to Erin on her left, but the Southampton just, it's like they hadn't even entered the game.
McGreevy at it again, looking for the hat-trick. 8th goal of the season for Kate McGreevy.
It's a dream start to the second half.
We've seen it a couple of times over the course of this weekend, some really rapid second half goals. And this is a super finish from Kate McGreevy. That one through the legs. Moffat with a big strike. Curtis will look to try and clear. It's a good ball from Curtis actually, just to break the pressure. Kaylee Tonks is found by her sister Becca. It'll be a Southampton corner. What do you think the message would have been from Liam Francis at half-time, Alicia? I mean, we saw them working away hard in the corner there with the tactics board out. Do you think they'll be looking to try and improve sort of specifically in the second half?
I think they're gonna look to improve the movement, the rotation of players. I think that's been quite a big thing for Bloomsbury. You see a lot of the passes and then players just stop, and there's not that rotation, which is really important, especially against teams like Southampton, which stick a little bit more in their positions. I think they just need to be more aggressive. Bloomsbury are an aggressive team, and I think losing Helena Scotland might have changed that slightly, but that's what they're going to need to do.
That was a nice move from Salas and McGreevy. Found after a long raking throw down court by AJ Amadonko. Shot in from Jenkins. Slider with the save. Just a recheck on the lineups at present. Moody, Tonks, and Curtis, the on-court 4 for Southampton. That's for Bloomsbury. We've got Erin Jenkins with Steffi Salas over on the far side, and Moffat and Kate McGreevy, the 2 out on court at the moment for the girls in goals. McGreevy looking to try and find a lane, but Moody was strong. Clever little ball through the legs from McGreevy to find Salas. Jenkins will battle there against Tonks, gets the shot off. Bloomsbury bench getting a little bit animated. They want to put the pressure on this Southampton team. Breaking is Curtis. And Tonks looking for Curtis again. AJ Amadonko, brilliant.
She's just so quick off her line. I think she just had to watch that one come through, and yeah, it's a really good stop.
McGreevy. Little dink is a lovely one. It's Steffi Salas. Big save. Big save from Lauren Seiler. The Bloomsbury vice-captain got the armband on now after Helena Scotland's red cards. Very, very close.
Yeah, it's a really nice ball through there from Kate McGreevy. She's just got to place that a little bit better.
Oh my goodness me, it went through everyone. Off the post and out. Lauren Seiler almost embarrassed there. Well, we have seen some bonkers goals this weekend. That would have taken the cake, I think. Lovely control from Becca Tonks. No foul. Bloomsbury ball.
I think we were talking about changes at half-time. I think Liam Francis looks like he's told his team to press higher. They did sit back a little bit in the first half, but they seem to be pressing the defence quite a little bit more.
Sanchez wide. Lovely work again from Erin Jenkins. Just feel like it's coming for Bloomsbury. They are definitively on top at the moment.
Yeah, I think Southampton, they're really going to have to switch it on. They just haven't been in it this half so far.
Becca Tonks wins her team a corner though. And when you've got someone like Becca Tonks up top as a pivot, if you can get the ball into her, she can generally make something happen. That's going to stay in for Moody. Becca Tonks, Jenkins is there just to clear. Chance here for Tonks, good block from McGreevy. That's nicely read by Paula Sanchez. As they she couldn't quite connect. That's well read by Ajewa Amadonko. A bit rushed there from Paula Sanchez, but she recovers it pretty well and wins her team the free kick. First foul of the second half.
Yeah, it just got a little bit scrappy for sort of 15, 30 seconds or so, and yeah, Bloomsbury looked to settle this down and carry on pressing like they were early in the half to get that third goal.
Stuck to Kaylee Tonks. McGreevy can cut that out. And goes on the charge again, as Williams alongside it. Couldn't quite wrap her foot around it. And Lauren Seiler will look to fly here. Becca Tonks rather was very isolated. Almost needed Lauren Seiler to go up and join her, but that would have been ambitious even for Lauren.
Yeah, she does that fly keeper role so well, and she's not afraid to do it either. Obviously, yeah, I think we were saying that she came in as an outfield player, and you can definitely tell that she's comfortable with the ball at her feet. And yeah, you kind of back her, imagine a 2-on-1, her and Becca Tonks. You wouldn't, I mean, she's as good as a lot of those outfield players, so yeah, but she's stuck in goal at the moment.
Lola into the feet of Becca Tonks. There's a good foot in there from McGreevy. And Tonks again. It's nice from Becca Tonks. Just a little bit too much on the pass to Becca Moody. Rachel Moffat checks in from McGreevy. There is non-stop energy, the Bloomsbury number 12. Steffi Salas prepared to come back in for Bloomsbury. This is Moody. Lovely feet from Kaylee Tonks. And Amadonko needed a little bit of help from Paula Sanchez there and got it. Wasn't anywhere near a clean strike from Kaylee Tonks, but actually that ended up being a better way to go about the shot in the end. It almost snuck by.
Yeah, there's not been that many clean opportunities, but there's a lot that are nearly sneaking into the back of the goal, and yeah, you think the next goal is going to be a really important one.
They did well. Moffat steps away from Alawalolo. Williams, a bit of a loose one. A bit more time there as well, Williams. This is Sanchez. Jenkins takes over. All a bit scrappy. Foul given against Southampton.
Erin's very good at putting her body in the way of the ball, and I think, yeah, her and Rebecca Tonks are quite similar in that way, so yeah, she does well to win the foul there.
Williams, oh, unlucky, it was the right idea. Just couldn't quite hold up for Paula Sanchez. Break over the top, Alawalolo will keep this in. Just took the shot on there when in reality I think if she checks and keeps it alive then the attack was on for Davina there.
Yeah, Amadonko had come out to block the shot, and you think if she just plays that, yeah, just towards the top of the D, then there would have been someone from the Southampton side to turn it home, but yeah, it's a bit of a let-off for Bloomsbury.
This is a Steph Dallas, Rachel Moffat, Emma Thackeray is on court as well now for Bloomsbury. There's Moffat again. Salas has picked up a good position. It's a little bit rushed and panicky, isn't it, at times in possession? It's been a bit of a frantic game, but it can be controlled, and I just feel like both teams are almost, they're so in the frantic nature of it, it's difficult to sort of take a step back and just be a bit more patient.
Yeah, I think like, I was asking for a bit more movement from Bloomsbury. I certainly got it, but they are sort of running around and using a lot of their energy, which you think they could conserve if they just play the ball and make the movement then. But yeah, it's slightly erratic from both teams, is I think how I would describe it. And it's just making for a really unsettled game, and I think that's why we're seeing those scrappy opportunities at both ends of the court.
Yeah, futsal fundamentally is a game all about control. I can't imagine either coach is absolutely delighted with how this second half has started. Liam Francis will be pleased that his team are back level and they're competing, but it's far from controlled at the moment. And the Doncourt was caught out a little bit there by Becca Tonks, but it is cleared. Oh, Alawalolo all alone. And Madoncourt came and got it.
Yeah, you could hear the call from the bench. She's just left isolated at the back post and there's no one picking her up at all. That's dangerous for Bloomsbury. They've just given them way too much space.
Onside comes and plays. Oh, it's a decent chance. Alawalolo could have controlled and turns.
She seems to not be picked up very well by Bloomsbury at the moment. She's just sort of drifting into those spaces. Yeah, back post and then down the line just there. It's just, she doesn't quite get the service that she needed in that pass from Rebecca Moody there.
It's a good ball to Sanchez, who's picked up a bit of space. Thackeray just gets rid. Alawalolo again just ghosting into space, couldn't quite get a foot around it. Decent effort though from Davina Alawalolo, who ended the shooting action pretty spectacularly, but she's back up on her feet. Salas there on the recovery. Doncourt, Salas in loads of room here, and now Paula Sanchez can bring it down, finds Salas. Don't mind that, patient. Pass is just awry from Rachel Moffat, but that's a little bit more like it from Bloomsbury, isn't it? Sort of more clearer decision making.
Yeah, and I think that they sort of look to hold the ball up a bit when they're in attack rather than just get it forward and chase after it, which is what we were talking about earlier about it being slightly chaotic and erratic. But yeah, that's a little bit better from Bloomsbury, and I think they just need to carry on playing that sort of futsal.
McGreevy back on court and straight away making a run down court. Katie Tonks was fouled there from Steffi Salas. Looks like Southampton are going to try and dial a play up here. Saad Kadri will tell them to wait for the whistle. Amy Maidment, Davina Alololo and Kaylee and Becca Tonks receiving their assignments. Teed across to Becca Tonks. Oh, and Alololo is in a good position there. Moffat charges in with a tackle. Moffat can race clear. She's got support too. Here's McGreevy. Tried to pick out Sanchez, Thackeray rather. McGreevy again! And Kate McGreevy gets her hat-trick. She loves the big games, does Kate McGreevy. Never gave it up, seized on the loose ball and supplied a really good finish.
I think we saw the Salma Simonin show earlier. This is the Kate McGreevy show. What a beautiful hat-trick. Yeah, she just works the ball so well. She gets it in the middle of the court, drives forward, and then yeah, it's just a really good feat and a good finish. And
might have another one here. Salas, can she pick her out? She can, and Davina Alololo with a superb bit of defending to track back and get the toe in there.
Feels like Bloomsbury have just dialed it up a bit, and they're looking a lot more dangerous, which I'm sure Leon Francis and the bench will be happy with.
Don't know about happy.
Slightly less concerned about.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of action from that Bloomsbury bench in all the way through this match. And that was great feat from McGreevy, and a tidy finish too. Taking all three of the goals really, really well. McGreevy in again. He doesn't take any chances. That's a Steffi Salas away. Just a shade over 10 minutes left. Siler almost caught out the goal there. If that had broken to McGreevy, that's great feet from Tonks. And Bloomsbury can just look to gain a bit of control. But it's still chaotic out there, isn't it? That vibe sort of hasn't really left us in this second half.
Honestly, these are the kind of games that I would not want to be playing in at all as a player. I'm quite a chilled person, and I think it's a hard one to play in. And I think Bloomsbury, now with their lead, they're going to have to calm it down and start playing some real futsal.
Yeah, a phrase I picked up from Mike a little while ago. Just create the chaos, but he was speaking about a very specific instance there, not necessarily constantly.
Yeah, I think generic chaos is probably not the way to go.
Oh, now Maidment, can she get there in front of Amadonko? She can. Good job, Amadonko, got the ball there.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a painful one, but I think, Amadonko did get the ball, so we'll let her off. She's got to walk that one off.
Timeout called by Southampton. Will Wilson is going to want to talk this over. Let's have a listen to that Southampton
Amy, you okay?
bench as the players come in.
Right. Keep your heads. 10 minutes, one goal. You know you've got more than enough in you to do it. Let's not start to panic. Let's not start to rush. Just going to encourage a bit more directness, because where they have been pressing higher, can we get the ball in behind them a bit quicker, and can we make sure that we're pressing those knockdowns? You two, 2-minute rest, and you're going back out and you're finishing the game. Okay? Charlotte on, Nikki on, and Moody, you'll go back on with them in a minute as well.
We need to take care of the ball. Take care of the ball. Stop just kicking it to them. That's what they want. We need more support. Yeah.
Let's go. Keep up this energy. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Interesting as always to get the insights on those timeouts. Let's see if Southampton can enact those messages. They want to be direct, but as you heard from Lauren Seiler, they've got to be precise as well. They can't just kick it away and give the ball away. They need to find those pivots. And the two Tonkses take their breathers now, and as we heard from Will Wilson, you're getting 2 minutes and then it's the rest of the game. It's Paolo Sanchez. And when Bloomsbury see that and they see Kaylee and Becca Tonks on the bench, they know that's two of Southampton's star players there taking a seat. Maybe it's time for Bloomsbury to try and turn the screw a little bit.
Yeah, I think when Rebecca Tonks is off the court, and Kaylee as well, Bloomsbury might be slightly less concerned about the sort of impact Southampton will have going forward. So that will give them the opportunity to press high and hopefully get a little bit of a bigger lead. But at the same time, yeah, Southampton, we heard it in the timeout, they know that that they've got goals in them, and they'll be looking to level it or win it, really.
Oh, Steffi Salas got all of that. That was flying towards Lauren Seiler's goal there from the Bloomsbury skipper. See back to her again. Oh, Sanchez wins another Bloomsbury corner. In towards the second post, and Erin Jenkins will be wondering how she hasn't scored. Perfect positioning really from Erin, but she didn't get a foot on the end of it at the end.
Yeah, it's a really good delivery from Steffi Salas there. I think that there were calls for 5 metres and they didn't get it.
Paolo Sanchez insisting she should have had a free kick. Play continues with McGreevy. Goes round the outside, shot comes in, and Seiler tips it over. Referee side, Kadri just wants a word here with Paolo Sanchez. That's nicely worked from McGreevy. And then big chance, and there's the goal that Bloomsbury were looking for. Lovely set piece, Erin Jenkins on the end of it. That's a really, really nice move, that from Bloomsbury. Kate McGreevy round the outside, made herself available. Jenkins peeled away, straight off the training court. Lovely move, lovely goal.
Yeah, we were saying how close Erin just came from that corner kick, and she finds herself in absolute acres of space, and that's all about the Bloomsbury movement. And yeah, it's a deserved goal from Bloomsbury there. They've really put the pressure on in the second half, and yeah, they've made it 4-2.
Kate McGreevy's having some game, isn't she? Hat-trick and a great assist too. At 4-2, Bloomsbury will feel like they're not far away here. Haven't given too much by way of chances to Southampton in the second half. They need to keep it that way. What a dime that is from Lauren Seiler. Finds Vina Alololo. Now can Bloomsbury look to counter with a Steffi Salas. They can slow this right down. Southampton were keen to get back, but Bloomsbury not that keen to get forward unless McGreevy, big save from Seiler, and McGreevy again. Oh, wow. After scoring 3, I can't believe Kate McGreevy's not found the back of the net there.
Yeah, she's just really unlucky there. The first shot is saved, and then you think if she just puts that on target, that's in the back of the net.
Salas looking for Jenkins, cut out by Broughton, and now Becca Tonks back on, can feed it through for Nikki Curtis. Big save, Amadoncourt.
That's absolutely vital, just to keep the 2-goal difference and allow Bloomsbury to play with a little bit more freedom.
Steffi Salas just gets rid.
Sometimes you need that, you just need to reset, and I think, yeah, Bloomsbury, they were all just grouped in the middle of the court there. They just need a little bit of time to reset, and that's what they've done. But it looks like she just hid it away, but that was all a plan.
Moffat comes in for Steffi Salas, who's doing a really good stint there. Bloomsbury captain. Breaking onto that is Sanchez. Takes a shot on, decent strike as well on the left foot. On comes Kaylee Tonks. Rebecca and Kaylee now on to the court. Finish the game for Southampton. Can they make the difference? Amy Maidment forward for the Aztecs. Has support, that's Kaylee Tonks, and Amadonkor again was there. There you see that proper futsal bit of keeping, that from Amadonkor. Big split save. Tonks to Broughton. Good feet from Charlotte Broughton. Amadonkor again quickly out to make the save. Good tackle there from Jenkins, and now Bloomsbury can look to break. Paolo Sanchez up with her. That's a good bit of holding possession. That's a little bit nicer from Bloomsbury, a bit more measured. But then, loose pass and touch. Southampton get the ball back. Back on court comes Rebecca Moody for Southampton. Jenkins did keep it in. This will trickle through to Seiler. Rebecca Tonks had to be brave. Just can't go back to the keeper. Bloomsbury know that. They can now that the Bloomsbury player, though, got involved. So then, can the Aztecs counter with Maidment? Tries to go around Jenkins, no way through.
Yeah, just an important little toe there from Ryan Jenkins, just to slow down the Southampton attack.
On court with the save, and that was to no one in particular from Matteo Amadonkor. Chance, and that surely will finish it. Paolo Sanchez catches Lauren Seiler now a goal, and Bloomsbury surely now are heading to a win in the NFS Tier 1. Loose Southampton pass, goal was empty, and Paolo Sanchez made no mistake.
It's always going to be dangerous when you're playing that fly keeper, and unfortunately for Southampton, Bloomsbury, they've just capitalised.
Moody with the shot, deflected just wide of the post. Corner then for the Aztecs. Set back for Kaylee Tonks. Lauren Seiler's come to play. And the Southampton set piece. Tonks in, and Amadonkor can look to release the Bloomsbury attack here. Yeah, Jasmine Whitehead shakes, and this might break for Whitehead. Shakes can keep it in, yes, but to the Bloomsbury detriment in the end. Forward come the Aztecs. Moody couldn't keep it alive. Timeout called by Liam Francis and Bloomsbury. Into the final 5 minutes we go, and the final message from the Bloomsbury bench is in. Let's hear from Liam Francis, John Curran and team.
Kick the ball away. It doesn't matter, okay? But as JK keeps shouting clean, it's a clean decision. If it means kicking the ball, it means kicking the ball. If the pass is on, play it. Be safe with it. But we don't take risks now, especially here. And there's counters on all the time. And get your head up. The keeper's out.
Fundamentally,
the keeper's out. Have a shot.
And make a clean decision. Okay? If it's not on, we normally should we enjoy defending. Okay? But please make a decision like you've been doing, which is great. Don't hesitate. And the second thing is just to
just trust each other, guys.
Just trust each other. Okay?
Trust each other. Really? Trust each other. You've got this. 4 minutes.
Fundamentals, basics. Jazz. Okay? Really.
Yeah, an interesting sort of reset sort of timeout. I thought we'd get a little bit of that from the Bloomsbury guys, and it was interesting there what John Curran was saying about need to make a decision. Oh, I tell you what, that's not a bad decision. It's not a bad decision. What a ball again from McGreevy and Rachel Moffat on the end of it. It's Bloomsbury 6, Southampton Aztecs 2, and that surely now will do it.
We've seen Moffat make those runs all day. She's just been really good at getting into those positions, and they haven't necessarily been goal-scoring opportunities, and it's just a really good finish.
Kate McGreevy having a day of days here. Here's Whitehead Shakes, dispossessed by Maidman. Yeah, just the point on the timeout. It's about making decisions and just being clear with the decision making. Has been a bit of a feature this second half where Bloomsbury have looked a little bit chaotic and just not had that clarity of thought.
Yeah, I think we're seeing it now. I think when you've got that lead, it takes the pressure off a bit, and then you see the best of teams. I think,
it's easier to have that clarity of thought, isn't it?
Yeah, when the pressure's off. But it will come with time. They're a new team, and I think when they're playing these in Tier 1, there's some big games, and I think it can, the sort of, like playing those big games does get to you, but they've done really well, and they've really settled into the game, and they've got the lead which they deserve.
McGreevy's at it again. Looks for that second post. Lauren Seiler with a good save. Jasmine Whitehead Shakes was there waiting. She's in again. Lovely ball. It's the diagonal to find a Steffi Salas. And now Whitehead Shakes. And now a Steffi Salas. Bloomsbury starting to play their stuff.
Not to be critical, but I think she could have had a touch there. She had a lot of space and could have made it 7.
All the way through there for Kaylee Tonks. Down the Doncourt from base. Looks to pick out Whitehead Shakes. That's a nice little ball from Becca Tonks, and she receives it back from Moody and run into Rachel Moffat. Oh, the shot from range. Oh. Wow. Rachel Moffat's already scored 1 good goal. That would have taken the cake.
That would have been, 2 very different goals, but it's not very far away at all.
Moffat's read the kick in from Seiler, and now Southampton are in. Oh, there's a big chance. 3-on-1, and Paula Sanchez just stood tall. And the space is there now for Bloomsbury. There's some tired Southampton legs. Ray Williams couldn't quite break through. Turning his Tonks. Read by Williams. Moffat. I'm going to put a question to you now, Alicia, that I'm fairly sure I know the answer to, but who's your player of the match in this one?
I think you definitely do know the answer, and I don't think it could be anyone else today. It's got to be Kate McGreevy. Just exceptional without, finishing exceptional. I think she's just really brought up the Bloomsbury team, and personally had an amazing game, so I couldn't give it to anyone else.
Hat-trick from McGreevy, couple of assists as well. She has been a bit of a difference maker. Onto court she comes once again. There's Kate McGreevy getting involved again. It's a lovely pass up to Erin Jenkins. Becca Tonks couldn't quite connect with Kaylee on this occasion as we head into the final 2 minutes. Substitute has been made in the Bloomsbury goal as well. There's Louisa Moreno. Gets to see out the final couple of minutes for Bloomsbury. Ajay Ramadonkor has earned a bit of a sit down, really, despite the fact that Bloomsbury here are 6-2 up. But Ajay Ramadonkor has made a lot of saves in this second half. Has been one of the difference makers, really. That's a Steffi Salas. It's really good feet from Salas. Just starting to have a little bit of fun. My apologies, Erin Jenkins actually with the feet there. Don't want to take any flowers away from Erin Jenkins there with that bit of skill.
No, I think she knows it as well. She's always had very good feet, and yeah, she's unlucky there not to just release someone down on the left-hand side.
Speaking of good feet, that's great from Davina Aloalolo, and Moreno happy to let that one slide. Looking to find Erin Jenkins. Aloalolo there, just got a tiny touch on it, made the difference. This will break here for Becca Tonks, good chance. Side netting. McGreevy and co survive. A good chance here. Rebecca Tonks. Here's Emma Thackeray. We'll get it again. And Aloalolo can win it. Final 40 seconds, and an impressive performance in the end from Bloomsbury in the sort of, you know, wooden spoon battle as it turns out. The two bottom teams in Tier 1, brand new to the league this year, and I think in the end they've just about shaded it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at how they're playing now, and you wish that they played like that the whole game, because it would have been a different game. But yeah, I think credit to Southampton. I think they did well in the opening stages of the game. It's just the levels dropped a little bit since Bloomsbury have got those goals, and yeah, I think it's a deserved win for Bloomsbury. They've turned it on when they need to, and yeah, us currently seeing out a 6-2 win.
It was far from perfect. It's never really going to be in the first season. Liam Francis and co are aware of that, but they'll be pleased to get the win on the board. 6-2 in the end to Bloomsbury. Really decent performance from them, and certainly a very, very decent result as well. The girls in gold in the end, producing a bit of a golden second half. They came in at the break 2-1 down. Kate McGreevy within 14 seconds of the restart got them back level, and from that point on they had to battle, but they got through by 6-2. That'll do us for the action for the weekend here from the FA National Futsal Series. Plenty more to come though in the studio, as we'll hand it back to Pippa, Steve and Mike.
Thank you, Stephen. What a way to turn around the game. I mean, 2-1 down at half-time, and now winners of the game. I mean, you said it was going to go to Southampton, didn't you? But it went to Bloomsbury, 6-2.
Thought Southampton were going to hold on, but Bloomsbury, fair play. They showed character, they showed personality. Southampton just tailed off towards the end as well, maybe a little bit fatigued, but Bloomsbury put the foot down and got the goals.
What a second half, you know, to end to this weekend, what a second half of goals. And full credit to Bloomsbury. They lost, obviously, Scotland in the first half, and they came out like they meant it.
Definitely. I mean, it is a bit of a disadvantage for Southampton, because as you can see, they had a lesser bench, only less players on their bench to come on, so that fatigue definitely got to them, whereas Bloomsbury could rotate the players, hold on to something, and then get a lead.
Yeah, and they got the lead through the goals, and the Greavy was absolutely superb throughout, wasn't he? You know, player of the match, and well deserved as well. Everything that happened today was going through her, and Bloomsbury in the end come out worthy winners.
Yeah, she was phenomenal. Here she's again, you know, Kate McGreevy, like everyone said, what a game she has. That finish as she came out was unbelievable. Assists, goals, everything.
We've seen so many goals straight into the second half.
Yeah, we haven't.
I think there must be 3 goals today within the first 15 seconds. Team's been coming out cold.
Yeah, I think so. I think you've probably got to half-time talking about, you know, wanting to score more attacking, and forgot about the defensive stuff we talked about. But it's happened quite a lot, hasn't it? They've just been caught cold. Start of games, you can't win it, but you can lose it, right? And it felt like that today.
Bloomsbury there, I mean, the goals that they scored, whether it's a high possession regain, like here again, and then a slotted finish, or whether they just worked the ball really well, they really deserved it in the second half.
They did in that second finish there with McGreevy, just lifted it outside, and then this second touch there was amazing, just to be able to slot it into the back of the net. What a game she's had.
McGreevy has been sensational for Bloomsbury to turn it all around just this second half with all the goals and contributing to this goal as well.
Yeah, and this is when it was a turning point for me where Southampton started to look a little bit fatigued, started to lose a little bit of concentration, a little bit less distance on the mark.
2 goals in it, like you say, 2 goals in it, fatigue setting in. Like you said, Pippa not got the bench in depth to really physically get back into it, but this is when they started to lose a little bit in terms of keeping with Bloomsbury.
And players kind of forget when you're playing, but there was a lot riding on this game. You know, it was to get us back on the back to the getting to 6 points rather than staying on 3. So it was a huge incentive for both teams. Sanchez there that got the goal and counts out her own goal.
Yeah, and by this point, you know, Southampton are risking, pressing, risking for everything, trying to pass forward, probably taking too much of a risk, trying to get into the fly, and they were just getting caught. And what a professional job Bloomsbury did here to just, you know, finish off the win.
Late run there for Moffat. It was,
McGreevy was just involved in everything, wasn't she?
Everything. Look at the energy there. I mean, a lung busting run all the way down the end of the pitch, and then knows the keeper's coming out. Can they get just the slightest of touches? Look at this.